Okay, so we're going into session number 3 of series number 10, and we're going to do that focus on fascial release work today. So I think pretty much everybody has done fascial work, either with me in classes or with other therapists, for example. And I know, Ali, you also did that Slings in Motion course that I often talk about. And I think it was such an amazing course and quite an eye-opener about how we can bring a lot of the fascial work into what we're doing with Pilates and with yoga. So oftentimes you don't even need any of these props. These props are lovely, we're going to use them today, but you don't actually have to have this. You can actually incorporate certain releasing movements into the session. So we're going to do a little combination of both of those. And today I'm not going to focus on any one particular fascial line. I'm going to do a little combination of everything, so it'll be quite holistic, but I'll point out to you as we're doing it. This is releasing lateral line, spiral line, etc., so that you can just get a sense of it as well. All right. Cool. So you need your mat, you need your ball, and then as always, if you need any kind of padding underneath the head or underneath the knees, then just maybe have a bolster or a folded up towel handy for yourself. Okay, you guys ready to move? Okay, so let's come into a standing position. We're going to be at the back end of our mats. And I just want you to take that spiky ball, your massage ball, and put it just in front of your feet. You're just going to leave it there for a second. Separate your feet so that your big toes are in line with each other. Lift your chin so that you're looking forward towards the horizon. And we're going to inhale to lift the shoulders up. Exhale to glide the shoulders down. And then just pause there and close your eyes for a moment. If you prefer to just soften your gaze and look down, that's perfect as well. And take a moment to notice your body weight on your 2 feet. Are you standing evenly on the right and the left sides? Are you standing evenly over the heels of your feet and the fronts of your feet, your toes and the ball of your foot? Notice the stacking of your joints from ankles up to knees, up to your hips. Notice your pelvis balancing on top of your thigh bones. Start to notice your spinal column, creating a little bit of space between each of the vertebrae. Get the sensation of your head wobbling easily on top of your spine. There's energy lifting through the crown of your head. Notice your collarbones at the front and your scapula at the back of your ribs. Become aware of your shoulders, left and right, elbows, left and right, wrists and hands, left and right. And just for the next 5 breaths, taking full deep inhales and long extended exhales. Observing the movement of your rib cage as you breathe. Visualizing the filling of your lungs and the deflating of your lungs as you breathe. Visualizing the movement of your diaphragm as you inhale and exhale. Noticing the connection of your core, feeling that soft release of your belly as you inhale. Feeling the gentle connection of your belly as you breathe out. Perhaps finding an awareness of your pelvic floor. Finishing your last deep, full inhale and exhale, and then just return to a gentle, natural breath. Start to blink your eyes open, bring yourself back onto your mat. And we're going to start with a roll down. So on your next breath, look down towards your toes. Start rolling forward. We're going to stop when our hands are just in front of our knees. And as you pause here for a moment, there is a curve in your spine, a rounding of your spine. Take a moment to feel where you are getting a stretch or where you're holding tension. And then on your next breath, continue folding all the way forward from the crease of your hip. So as you bring your hands closer towards the ground, do you notice that there is a shift in where you feel the stretch? So maybe now you're feeling it a little bit more in the back of the legs. And then on your breath out, start to unravel, coming all the way upright. Your abs are supporting from the front, but you are engaging the back line of your body as you come all the way up. And again, we inhale to lift the shoulders. Exhale as you glide the shoulders down. Now, you're going to balance on your right foot. If you need to hold onto a chair or wall, that's fine. You're going to lightly roll the ball underneath the foot. And what we're doing here, if this is very wobbly on your mat, then just come and stand on the firm surface and you can still roll your foot here. But with this light rolling action, we're just getting to that very first layer of fascia that's directly underneath the skin. And now, flop your foot and go into quite a firm rolling action. So with a floppy foot. So what we're moving to now are all of those intrinsic muscles of the feet. And guys, don't forget that our feet are incredibly complex. We've got so many bones, muscles, ligaments. Okay, so just a firm rolling. Now, stiffen up your foot and still do that hard rolling action. Now what we're doing is addressing the fascia, the connective tissue that sits deeper in the foot, around those intrinsic muscles. And if you find a little hot spot, like a little trigger point, pay attention to it. And maybe you even just want to keep your foot still and almost like stand on it a little bit. So play around and see what feels good. And then leave the ball just in front of you. Stand. Close your eyes once again, or soften your gaze. And notice, how does that side feel? Is there a difference? Is this an area of connective tissue that you personally need to focus on or release? And then when you're ready, leave your eyes open. And now we're going to move over to the other side. So find your balance. Light rolling action of the foot. So this fascia underneath the foot is called plantar fascia. If you guys have heard of plantar fasciitis, it can be very painful tightening underneath the foot. So for some people, this is like excruciating, right? If they've got like acute inflammation. So you never want to go too hard if it doesn't feel good for you. And so now, floppy foot, go a little bit harder. Let's get into those intrinsic muscles. But this fascia goes from the underside of the foot up the back of the legs, the calf muscles, Achilles, up the hamstrings. It doesn't include the bum, by the way. It doesn't include gluteus maximus. It cuts and it goes up over the back muscles, the erector spinae, and then up over the scalp. That's considered the back line. So rolling out the feet, stiffen up your foot and go hard. Rolling out the feet can actually have an amazing release on hamstrings, for example. Can have an amazing release on the back muscles, for example. So, you don't think that they're connected, but in fact they are, right? Just leave the ball there in the center. Take a moment to stand. Close eyes. And how does that side feel now? And always for me, I feel like my foot has melted out. I just feel so much more solid on my feet after I've rolled them out. And gently blinking eyes open. We're going to do another roll down. Take a breath in. Look towards your feet, and we're just going to roll halfway down, just until your hands are hanging in front of your knees. And you pause there. Has there been any effect on your back muscles after rolling your feet? On your next breath, go all the way down towards the ground. And just stay there for a moment. And has there been any effect on the hamstrings for you? Take a breath in. And then exhale all the way up. You come using abdominals, rooting into the feet, and coming all the way up. Take a moment here to just focus your eye on. We inhale to shrug. And we exhale, glide the scapula down and get that sensation of lengthening the back of the neck. So I'm just going to turn to face this way. I'll do a mirror image. I want you to soften your knees. Take your right arm out, and you're going to rest your arm on top of your head. You're going to start to push your right hip to the right, and release. And gentle push. If you can imagine that there's a trampoline wall beside you, and you're letting your hip lean into the wall, and then the trampoline rebounds you back. So it's not a jarring action. And now, if you feel pretty safe and secure here, you could even straighten your legs a little bit. I personally keep my knees a little bit bent because my sacroiliac joint sometimes doesn't like as much movement. So I keep my knees bent and then I release. And now you can keep going just with the hip, or you can add a side bending of the spine. And now notice here, when you add that side bend, the movement gets bigger and the movement slows down. That's it. Connect your movement to your breath. So guys, remember that fascia likes oxygen, right? And now, would you like to add and reach with that top arm and relax? Reach. So all we're doing here is adding tensioning to the movement. Getting into that right lateral line of the body. Let's do one more. Come all the way up and relax. Now again, close your eyes and just observe yourself for a moment. Is there any kind of difference for you between your right and left sides now? Is this lateral line something that you need to focus on? Blink your eyes open, left arm, just resting your arm on top of your head, soften your knees a little bit. And again, you start with just that left hip pushing to the side. And again, you might want to start small and then go a little bit bigger. You might want to keep your knees bent, or you might want to straighten them. So think a little bit more about your hip pushing to the side there, Ash. So take your left hip to up high. Can you feel the difference there? Because the lateral line goes all the way down and down the side of the leg, to the side of the ankle, to the side of the foot. And now, if you're feeling good, add that side bend of the spine. And don't force the movement. You don't have to go at the same pace as me, by the way. If you're going faster or slower and it feels good for you, then go for it. And then if you would like to increase the movement, why don't you add a reach and release. Gentle movement. Taking just a few more. One more. Come all the way up. And once again, pause. Close your eyes. Observe. How does it feel on that side? Blinking your eyes open. One more look. Take a breath in. Look down towards your feet. Start rolling your spine. Just allowing your hands to hang in front of your knees. Stay for a moment. Observe how it feels. And then continue folding over from the crease of your hip. All the way over you go. Stay there, rubbing your hamstrings feel. And then bend your knees enough that you can place your fingertips to the ground. Give your hand a little shake. No. And then nod your chin. Yes. And then you're going to walk yourself all the way forward. You can leave that little spiky ball where it is. And you're just going to place the ball between your knees. So you're going to bring your knees fairly close together so you can hold onto that ball with the inside of the legs right there. Make your feet relax out for a moment. Energy through the crown of your head. And we're just going to start with a little bit of shifting body weight forwards and backwards. You can keep your spine nice and neutral. And I just want you to figure out that if your feet are cramping, then you're welcome to tuck the toes under, by the way, if that feels good for you. When you bring your shoulders forward over your wrists, you might very well feel that there's a little bit of a stretch at the front of the wrist where the carpal tunnel is. And if it's very uncomfortable, then maybe you need to actually move your hand position. Some people need to take their hands a little wider apart. Some people almost need to turn their fingers inwards slightly. So just play with it and see what works for your body. And then say to yourself, tuck your toes under, holding the ball with your knees. See if you can push into hands and feet and lift your knees just up off the ground. Energy through your crown and energy through your tail. We are loading all the major joints of the body here. We are finding stability. We are waking up all the fascial lines of the body here. Take a breath in. Exhale. Release. Relaxing your feet all the way out. Round your spine like a cat and stay in this rounded spine position for a moment. You're going to move your hips halfway back and then stop when you feel that you have a lovely, it should feel good, a lovely stretch across the lumbar spine and maybe over the sacrum. And then we're going to add some gentle pulses. It's that same feeling of trampolining, so it's not a jarring action. Finding your knees. Last two. Last one. Come all the way forward. Lengthen through the crown of your head and return to neutral. So you can take that little massage ball, release it, and just put it out to the side for now. So stretch your right leg back. Bring your right leg up. Hold it there. Make sure that you've still got your shoulders and your pelvis square, and then flex the back foot. So you're pushing energy through the heel. We're just staying here for a moment, finding the connections along the back line of the body. Also finding a connection into the gluteus maximus, which by the way is part of the side line of the body, the lateral line. Taking just a few more moments here. And now I'm going to circle the right leg all the way around to the side. I'm what we're doing. And you're going to place your foot down and then roll the side of your foot flat to the ground. If this doesn't feel good in your hip or knee, you can change the position so it works for you. Long spine. Start to move your hips a little bit back and then forward. So it's almost like you're going to start sitting towards your back foot. Now, can you feel the release on that right inner thigh? This is part of our deep midline or the deep front line of fascia. And this is essentially our Pilates core. It goes from the inner thigh and it goes up into the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, up into the deep muscles of the neck as well. All connected. 2 more. 1 more. Sit back halfway. Round your spine like a cat. Push up onto the tips of your fingers. And then slide your fingers towards you as you unravel. Come all the way upright and spread your wings wide. Placing right hand to leg. Left hand comes up. And we do a gentle stretch over to the side. Hold it there. Let's do some little pulses. One more. Spread your wings wide. Hold it here. Now, turn the palms of your hands up. We're going to slide. We're going to shift over to the other side now. And then we're going to draw ourselves back in. Can you feel the connections into the obliques now? Slide into the side. So now we're starting to load the lateral lines again. So when we were standing and doing our side bend, we were releasing the lateral line. We were creating some elasticity. And now we are engaging the lateral line. Now lean to the side and stay here. Now guys, you can stay here. If you would like to challenge, how about you frame your head with your arms? And then open wide. And again, frame your head with your arms. Open wide. One more time. A little bit of a challenge. And open. And come all the way back up. Bring the arms up. Turn your hands forward. We're going to cascade forward and over like a waterfall. Use your abdominals. Walk your hands all the way forward. Lengthen your spine. Now, can you lift your leg up? Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Sweep it around to the back. And bring that knee all the way in. Yes? Everyone good? Okay. Okay, luckily we have another leg. So, stretch your left leg back. Lift your leg up. Double check the alignment of your shoulders and pelvis and then flex the back foot. And can you create a line of energy from the heel of your foot out through the crown of your head? Waking up the back line, waking up gluteus maximus. Staying here for just a few more moments. And then sweep your leg around to the side. Again, I'm going to turn to face you. And you're going to place your foot down and roll your foot flat as much as you can. Make any adjustments you need for your position. Lengthen your spine. And let's start gently moving backwards and forwards. That's it. So guys, observe on your own bodies. How does this right side feel, left side feel in comparison to the right? Is there a difference on your own body? Few more moments. And now sit back just a little bit. Hold it. Round your spine like a cat. Press up onto the tips of your fingers. Hold it there. Slide your fingers towards you. Roll up. Spread your wings wide and pause. Left hand to left leg. Right arm up. Let's go into a little bit of a side stretch. Hold it there and pulse. Last one. And release. Palms up. We slide, shifting over towards the side. And come back in. And again, a little bit of a shift. And you're trying to keep equal distance between the ribs and the pelvis here. Last one. Slide to the side, hold it. Now you can stay here. If you'd like a challenge, you frame your ears and you open your arms. And again, frame and open. One more time. And open, hold. Come all the way upright. Hands up. Palms forward. Waterfall. Cascade over. Rooting into your hands. Lengthen your spine. Now see if you can lift your leg. Hold it. Hold it. Bring your leg all the way to the back. Bring your knee in. Now open your knees wide. Big toes touch. Sit yourself back and come into a resting position just for a moment. So the point is here that first of all, we're taking pressure off the wrists for a second. So if you need to sort of wiggle your fingers or move your wrists around, go for it. And just an opportunity to once again connect into our breathing. Taking an opportunity to observe ourselves. Notice what's happening with our bodies, with our breath. Taking another easy inhale. Then on your breath out, start to walk your hands all the way back towards your knees. And now I'm going to sit facing you, so I'm having a mirror image. You're going to bring your right shin to the front and your left shin to the side. So you're sitting like a mermaid, okay? Whatever you need to do for knees, hips, ankles, you can do it. Let's just go into that easy seaweed movement, side to side. And remember that there's no right or wrong here. Finding the movement that feels good for you. And then place your right hand to the ground, left arm reaches, and then just come up and hold this position here. So your right hand is on the floor, your middle finger is pointing away from you. You're going to turn your left hand palm up. Start to open up the front of your chest as you reach back. And then bring your left hand towards the right hand on the floor as you round your back. And again, taking your arm back. Now I like to inhale here, but you can switch it if you want. And I like to exhale here. So when you take your arm backwards, this is opening the front arm line. When you round your spine, this is opening the back arm line. So ideally, we want to have balance between the two. But do you notice perhaps that you have tightness on one side more than the other? Last one. Reach back. And then bring your hands to the floor. Now put both hands flat to the ground. Maybe separate them a little bit. Square your shoulders towards your wrists and let your head, your hips, and your legs adjust. Let them do whatever they need to do. Start extending your spine. So you lift your eye line, lift your heart, and then round your spine. Almost do a little push with your hands as you tuck your chin in and roll back. And again, lengthen and extend. And then curl back. Connect your movement to your breath. And this is coming into what's called the spine spiral line of the body. It's this beautiful, intricate spiral, almost like an alpha helix, winding its way around our body. So any of these twisting and spiraling movements, so good for fascia as well. Let's do one more time. Breathing in, breathing out. Just come back to the center and pause. Bringing your right hand to the middle of the mat. Pick up your left hand and take a little bit of a peek underneath. And then lifting all the way upright. Pivot your feet around to the other side. So again, when you come into this mermaid seat, you might be in a different position in one side as opposed to the other, depending on the tightness of your hips. Let's do a little bit of seaweed before we do our spiral. Getting that lovely opening along the sides of the ribs. And so guys, don't forget as well that fascia goes throughout our bodies in lots of layers, almost like candy floss. And not only are we getting the muscles around the torso here, but all the fascia that goes around our organs, like the lungs, the diaphragm, around the heart. And now place your left hand to the floor, right hand reaches over and become upright and stay here. So just take a look. Is your middle finger pointing away from you? Turn the right palm up, and we inhale to open up the chest, and we exhale as we round over. Inhale, open up the chest, and exhale, round over. Breathing in, breathing out. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Stay here. Place both hands flat. Separate the hands a little bit. Take a moment to square your shoulders and let everything else adjust. And then start to move. Extending the spine. And then curling back. Connecting into your breath. Lovely. So again, I mentioned this the other day, is that I tend to use my hands to create this movement. So when I extend, I almost do like a little pulling with my hands, and then when I round my spine, I almost do like a little push with my hands. So I feel that there's almost a softness around my abdominals, and there's a softness around my back muscles. I'm not really having to work those muscles very hard. Come back to the center. Now move your left hand to the middle of the mat. Right hand, take a little peek underneath. And then coming all the way upright. Lovely. So swing your feet around to the front of your mat. So you're going to have the ball just beside you, have it ready to use. And arms are out in front. We're going to do our half roll back. On your breath, start curling back, stopping at a point where you feel a little connection to your abs. And then on your next breath, roll forward and lift up top. And again, draw back. Stay for a moment. And forward. Lift up top. Last two. Last one, curl back. This time, pause here. And now go all the way down to the ground. And then your arms second beside you. So walk your feet a little bit closer in towards your pelvis. Decide, would you like to have your palms down or up? You need to move your arm position. And then before we do any movements, I want you to close your eyes and just notice how your body feels. Notice the points of contact to the ground. Notice your breathing. Notice your lower back and your sacrum. Notice your upper back, your neck, the base of your head. Then when you're ready, blink your eyes open again. We're going into a pelvic curl. Tilting your hips a little bit. Get that imprint first, and then as you come upright, getting that lovely lift from the base of the pelvis and getting that opening at the front of the hips here. And then you get your ripple down through the spine and release at the bottom. And go again. Pause at the top and ripple down. Three more. We're going to take two more. And this is one of the more basic exercises that we can do, but one of the most effective exercises for finding stability and also mobility around the pelvis and the hips and around the spine. Pressing up into our last pelvic curl, and then we get to ripple down to the spine. Imprint and release. Now, take the little massage ball, lift your hips up, and place that ball underneath your sacrum. So it's not in your lower back, it's a little bit lower down. And when you take your hands away, you just rest your pelvis on the ball. You should feel fairly stable, and it should feel that it's in the center. And then bring your hands a little bit out to the side, and just start to roll around on the ball. So you can go side to side, you can go forwards and backwards. So this area of the sacrum actually has quite a bit of dense, flat, sort of wide fascia, connective tissue. And the reason being that there's a lot of workload that comes up this area. So it's also one of the reasons that so many people have issues here as well. So this is a lovely way to hydrate the connective tissues, what we're doing right now. And then come to the center, and then find your balance. And I just want you to bring one knee up towards your chest. And you can hold on maybe behind the thigh, so you're just providing a little bit of weight load onto the ball. Flex the right foot, and then you're going to extend the leg up. And bend the knee and release it down. So you can feel that you're having to work your core to keep your balance here. And we're doing a hamstring release while we're doing fascial release with that little ball on the sacrum. Two more. Imagine if you're going to stand on the ceiling and release. Last one. And release. And then place that right foot to the ground. Bring your left leg in. By the way, if this is getting uncomfortable, feel free to move it or take it out completely here. Hands behind the thigh, flexing the foot, and we go. Extend. Ooh, my hamstrings today, guys. Release. And extend. Three more. Two more. Last one. And release. Placing your foot all the way down. Now lift your hips. Take the ball out. Lie there for a second with your arms on the feet on the ground, close your eyes, and how does it feel? Has there been any shift for you? Is this an area that you need to focus on? Take another breath in. Exhale, open your eyes. And now just walk your knees and your feet right next to each other. So you're squeezing those inner thighs gently. Both hands come up. Turn the palms of your hands to face each other. And let's do our arm scissors. Making sure that you stop just before your arms hit the floor. So you want to control the movement. And notice, do you have equal range on both sides, or maybe is one side a little bit more restricted than the other? Are you taking any tension through the neck or throat? How does your upper back feel as you do this? And then bring both hands up. Interlace the fingers. Place your hands underneath your head for support, and then maybe do a little bit of a wiggle of the spine before we do our sit-ups. So elbows are just off the ground. Nod your chin. And on your breath out, chest lift, sliding your legs forward, and then releasing gently back. On your breath out, chest lift, keeping that stability around the pelvis, and releasing down. We're going to take 4 more. And now I want you to bring your awareness to your upper back, maybe even your lower back. Noticing if there's any tightness or if the back line of your body is inhibiting you in any way. Last one. And release. And now slide your hands out. You're going to take your massage ball, and I want you to place it just underneath the base of your skull. So what is called the occipital bone, those 2 little knobs at the base of your skull. And you can put your hands just on your lower belly, just make sure that you've got a little bit of connection there. And then just do a little bit of a rolling side to side action. So again, this little bit of connective tissue at the base of the skull can sometimes get very tight if you have a posture where your head is going a little bit forward of your body. And guys, it is amazingly common nowadays with everybody on their phones, for example. It's actually called text neck. It actually has a name. And you see it in a lot of teenagers now as well, which is a bit disturbing, the number of kids that are getting headaches, right? And then bring your head back to the center, and maybe do a little bit of a nodding action with your head. So your chin is going up and down. And say it to yourself. And now slip that ball out. And this is a little bit of a tricky one to get into, because now we want the ball just sort of in that upper back between the shoulder blades. So I'm going to roll away from you so you can see. And it might be easier for you to roll onto your side, place the ball, and then roll onto your back again. And from there, you can kind of like move your body forwards or backwards. If you need a pillow underneath your head here, then you can get a pillow underneath your head as well. Interlock your fingers behind your head, elbows lifted. Find stability through the pelvis, and we're doing our chest lift again. So on your breath out, curling up into a chest lift. And you always want to feel like you're getting a little bit of pressure release with that ball underneath you. And then head and shoulders back. So we're going into that extension of the spine. Feel free to move the ball if it doesn't feel okay for you. One more time. And release, rolling onto your side. Slip the ball out, place it beside you. And once again, just lie there. Knees bent, arms down. Feel free to close your eyes. Has there been any release for you? Is this an area that perhaps you need to focus on? Gentle inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes. You're going to stretch your legs out long, and we're going to go into a roll-up from here. So you can have your legs together apart, you can point your toes or flex them. Bring your hands up, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, and how far back can you take your arms without letting your ribcage pop up? There's your starting position. Here we go. Inhale, lift arms, lift head. Breathing out as you go forward. Nicely done. And it's a gentle stretch forward this time. Take a breath in. And exhale, back you go. Anybody who needs a prop underneath the lower back, you can sit underneath your lower back now as well. Reaching arms overhead. And inhale, lift arms, lift head. So guys, this classic roll-up exercise is asking us to engage and shorten the front line of fascia and muscles. Roll back. It's asking us to release and lengthen the back line of muscles and fascia. Inhale, lift arms, lift head, breathe. Lovely. So if your back line is locked, you're going to find this pretty tough. Hopefully now after all that release work that we've done, it's feeling a little easier, right? And all the way overhead. And let's just do one more time. Lift arms, lift head, breathe. Stay here this time, take a breath in, and then exhale, unwrap, and lift it all the way up until lovely. So now, step your right foot up and over. We've been doing this in the last few classes. Make sure that your foot is grounded, and then you're going to flex the left toe. Right hand props you up, left hand reaches. Start rotating so that you can put your elbow around your knee, and then guide yourself into a gentle twist. So again, anytime we do a twisting or spiraling movement, we're coming into the spiral line of fascia. And oftentimes this is inhibited with really tight hips. So this is a wonderful way to start to also release into those muscles. Take a breath in, and then exhale, unwind. And you're going to just stay here for a moment, resting your hands on your knees, resting your forehead down. And if this feels really easy for you, why don't you try bending the left leg beside you and coming into a full seated twist. Beautiful. And then resting down. So guys, if knees or hips don't like this, do not force it. But this is now incorporating the full spiral on the other side as well, through the hips and the legs. A few more moments. And in your own time, coming upright, unfold the left leg first, then the right leg. Give them a little shake to get the circulation going. And now, left foot steps up and over. Flexing the right toes. Left hand props you. Right hand reaches. And coming into your twist on the other side. Let your breathing take you deeper when your body is ready for it. No forcing. By the way, for some people, it's a huge help to sit on a cushion here as well. So if you need to give yourself a little bit of a prop, feel free. On your next breath, slowly release. Clasping hands just over the knee, resting head all the way down. You can stay here, or would you like to bend the right leg to the side, coming into a little bit of a seated position here, and then resting head down. One more breath in. Slowly release, unfold the right leg first, left leg, and then give a little bit of a shake. How do you guys feel? All right, cool. So now we're going to turn onto our stomach and we're going to do a little bit of back extension. Keep that ball close on hand. We're just going to turn this way. And you can have your legs together or apart, whatever feels good for you. Cover the tip of your nose and then put your hands beside you with the elbows down. Before we go into extension, you need to engage your gluteals without gripping because you don't want to brace the lumbar spine. And as soon as you brace, then you're not going to move. Okay? So just engage your bum cheeks, create a little bit of space for yourself. And we're going to inhale as we come up into a little baby cobra. So visualize your lungs inflating to bring you up. And then exhale as you bring yourself down and cover the tip of your nose. And again, we inhale, lifting up. And we exhale and float down. Let's take two more. Feel free to move your hands if you need, move your legs if you need. And release. Last one, inhale. And exhale, downward dog. Now, take the little ball, and you're going to put it in the middle of your breastbone. So guys, you might have to get boots out of the way, okay? Just make sure that it's somewhat comfortable. And then you're going to let your upper back round over and just let your forehead rest on the ground. So you're back in your cobra position, but now with that ball in place. And I just want you to almost do a little bit of a rocking action from side to side. So just like we were talking about in sort of that dense fascia across the sacrum, because of all the workload, we have quite a bit of fascia on the breastbone here as well, because all of the arm movements, the chest, etc., come from the breastbone. So we've got quite a bit of fascia there as well. And then center yourself, hover the tip of your nose, engage the bum cheeks. We're going to inhale to come into a baby cobra. And almost think of rolling or nudging the ball a little bit forward with your breastbone. And then release and let yourself round over gently. So you can feel the ball is moving slightly. Inhale, coming up. Nudging the ball forward. And exhale, down we go. We're going to do two more. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And now, take the ball out, put it beside you, and just rest your head down and lie there for a moment. You can let your legs flop. Has there been any kind kind of release or adjustment for you now that you've released the fascia on the sternum there. Coming back into your cobra position, active legs, engaging bum cheeks, cover the tip of your nose. Let's do one more set of cobra. Inhale, coming up. And just for me, this feels so much easier because I don't feel like there's a tightness holding me back from underneath my body. So it just gives you an opportunity to float up without having any kind of restriction. And we're just going to take two more, breathing. Last one. And let your elbows lift up, press your hands onto the floor, all the way up you come. And let's just come into a resting position once more. Taking a moment to settle, connect into your breath. Notice how you are feeling. Draw yourself up onto all fours. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Spread your fingers out. We're going to tuck toes, and we're going to transition into a downward facing dog. So lift your knees up, move your hips back and up, and then start to pedal the heels towards the ground. So this is the most amazing release for the Achilles tendons and the calf muscles. Send both heels towards the floor. Take a breath in. And then exhale, bend your knees and walk your feet halfway forward. Walk your hands back to your feet, and then just hang there for a moment like a rag doll. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Take your time as you come all the way up into standing. Bring yourself upright. Take a moment, make sure you don't have a massive head rush. And we're just going to inhale to shrug shoulders. Exhale, glide the arms down. And then take a moment again to soften your gaze or to close your eyes. Notice your body weight on your feet. Notice the stacking of your joints. Allowing your head to softly wobble on top of your spine. Bringing awareness to your breath. Noticing that gentle response of your belly as you breathe. Taking one more deep inhale through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Blink your eyes open. Give your head a shake. Fantastic. How do you guys feel? All day. My favorite fascial release. This good. Yeah. So many people. So Ashley's saying that you really felt it was quite intense on the sternum. Yeah. No, but but I think what also happens is, because we've got such rounded postures generally with our lifestyle nowadays, as soon as we do that, the skull shortens. So it's a very intense release. Very sensitive. Yeah, so I mean, a couple of people are just like, there's no way they can almost put their body pressure. So you know what you do is you do a little manual massage like this. You don't have to lie on top of it. That can be very hectic. So you just do a little manual release instead. It's nice feeling though. Yeah. It opens. Exactly. And it feels better afterwards. Cool. Pleasure. Guys, is everybody else feeling good? Any questions?
No, it was all good. It was lovely. Thanks very much, Renee.
And I'm pretty sure it's like a review for you as well. I think you guys have done all of this stuff before.
Exactly.
Awesome. Cool. And Abby, you recognized a lot of that stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't take the time to do it fully for myself as often as I teach it.
Yeah.
So
no, exactly.
Do everything. Yeah. And also just allow myself the time to experience the feedback from my own. Sometimes when I'm teaching it, I teach it not so quickly, but I teach it in a way that I don't get to kind of go, well, actually, what does this feel like, and settle. I like the moment to settle.
Yeah, but I've got to admit that's something that I've really pulled out of yoga. There's a lot of pause and observe in yoga. And I think sometimes in Pilates, and I mean, I still love doing the original 34 mat work. I mean, that's a hectic workout and it feels good. But you're right, there's not that pause, what's happening, just that little moment to reflect. Yeah, awesome. Cool,
Very
guys.
cool. Thank you.
I will see everyone tomorrow, and there has been a few requests for some focus work. So some people want to focus on gluteals, so we're going to do a session on gluteals. And then some people have also asked for a class focusing on isometric work. So we're going to do one of those tomorrow.
That's Jules. Whenever I hear the word isometric, I think of Jules.
Exactly. I must actually phone Jules and tell her to join us.
Please send her my love.
Of course I will. Awesome, guys. Have an amazing day. I'll see everyone tomorrow.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Renee.
Bye, Fina.
Bye.
Pleasure.